Hey friends, happy Thursday. Thanks for joining us for this 13 Plus FastCast. I'm Anna Orsini. We want to get right to it this morning because we are following a crash that happened earlier this morning on Speedway. And if you joined us for our morning show, either of them this morning, Fox or KOLD, then you saw a lot about this because this closed a good chunk of Speedway this morning. The closure was in between Ritchie and Alvernon. As of right now, it's still in place. We know that there was a fatal crash involving a female pedestrian that happened there this morning. That investigation is still ongoing. We have not gotten word that the roadway is reopened. So if you're heading that way today, just keep that in mind. You may not be able to go down Speedway in between Ritchie and Alvernon. The investigation is continuing out there. And as soon as we learn more about what exactly happened and more about the victim, we will bring you updates throughout the day. Another crash that we're following is one that happened last night. The driver said to be in stable condition after this really scary scene. The driver actually went off the road there at Gates Pass. This is video from the scene last night. You can see a lot of different agencies responding, and we learned that the driver who was involved, actually the car ended up going about 100 feet off the road into the desert. But again, that driver is reported to be in stable condition. We don't know exactly how this happened, but they are in stable condition. So this is something else that we will continue to follow for you throughout today. Now, as we talk about all these crashes, it's something that we seem to be talking about a lot lately, especially fatal crashes involving pedestrians. And if you were with us earlier this week, we talked to Jack Cooper a lot about October being one of the deadliest months for crashes here in Arizona on the roadways, and it's something that Pima County wants to change. So they need your help to do this. If we go ahead and take a look at this map that you're seeing there on your screen, this is actually the website that you will go to if you'd like to sign up for the bike count. Now, this is through the Pima Associations of Government. All of the colorful dots that you see there on your screen represent different intersections that they want people to take a look at. So what they do is they send volunteers out, and you're going to document different things about kind of some of the patterns that you're seeing at those intersections. So the sign-up windows are actually 2 hours, 3 on weekends, but if you look at the dots, you can see all throughout Tucson. We even see them down into Green Valley. The green dots, AM and PM. The blue dots that you're looking at are PM shifts, and then the red ones are only AM, and then weekend shifts that are available as well. So you can get to that through their website. Now, the way that this actually helps them is by helping them determine where in the county they could better improve some of the safety there. So they're asking people to document things like how many people are crossing through those intersections. Are they biking? Are they walking? How old they are? Whether or not people are staying on the sidewalks. Then they use that information to figure out where they can best direct their funding and do some of those safety improvements so that hopefully the number of crashes that we've seen recently, the number of fatal pedestrian crashes that we've seen, they start to see those numbers go down a bit.
The City of Tucson has a bike boulevards program and a master plan, and as they're rolling out that, as they get funding to build those bike boulevards, they want to see the impact of the ridership on those networks. So we've been working with them closely to get baseline counts. They're able to capture what ridership is like today, and then they're going to build some improvements for bikes and pedestrians and hope to see those numbers increase.
So again, just a really great way that you can help out. It only takes 2 hours of your time. You sign up on their website, kind of get a window, and then go out and document the patterns that you're seeing and hopefully help them direct some of that funding to some of the more problem intersections here at home. And again, just help keep people safe here at home on our roads. Well, another big story that we're following today, it's really hard to believe, but it has been a year since that shooting at the U of A campus. And in that last year, a lot of heartbreak, a lot of emotions, people obviously mourning the loss of life there with Dr. Thomas Meixner, but also asking questions about what the U of A is doing to improve safety there, to make sure that all students, staff, faculty, visitors on the U of A campus are safe. And that's been a big focus for the last year for the U of A. So today, our very own Carson Courier has been on campus this morning talking to students, talking to people there about what they've seen in the last year, but also taking a look at the way that the U of A is honoring the life and legacy of Dr. Thomas Meixner today.
Anna, the mood on campus this morning is really chilling. There's a lot of different emotions. We've been speaking to some students reflecting on that day. Some people telling us they didn't know what to do, where to go when those shots were fired. Others telling us they didn't even know there was an armed man on campus until Dr. Thomas Meixner was shot and killed. 1 year later, we're looking back at the different safety protocols that have been put in place to improve safety here at the University of Arizona. After having an independent independent company come in and give university leaders 33 different recommendations. We know that there's now more locks on campus. There's QR codes on campus to kind of break down that emergency action plan. There's also some posters on campus just telling students what to do in case another emergency strikes. We want to show you right here. This memorial, this was a huge deal right after the shooting. We saw candles, we saw pictures of Dr. Thomas Meixner here. You can see these red and white flowers, but over that you can see there is still a picture of Meixner on this sign, the John W. Harshbarger building. Also, there is a cross. Someone just came up and taped that here about 5 minutes ago. So a lot of people just reflecting on this day. We are expecting there to be more flowers, more ceremonies throughout the day. We know that starting at 8 a.m. there was a spotlight that was shined up on the Gold Simpson building that will be shining all day through 6 o'clock this evening. And just 30 minutes ago, many on campus coming together to honor Meixner's legacy at the St. Thomas More Catholic Newman Center. The Bear Down Fight song, which plays at noon across campus, will not be playing today. Of course, 13 News will stay on scene. We're going to be covering this day throughout the day with coverage on air, online, and right here on 13 Plus. Stay tuned for more information.
And we will be continuing our coverage throughout the day at the U of A, so make sure that you join us later today as we continue to keep an eye on what's happening there and honor the life and legacy of Dr. Thomas Meixner. And right now, people in the Catalina foothills are looking for some answers. They say that dozens of cacti have been stolen from local neighborhoods. The HOA president there says that they've had cacti actually stolen every night for the past 3 nights. And a lot of people wondering when they walk outside what is happening in their lawns. People who live there say that more than 30 have actually been stolen since late last month. Now, aside from being a crime, it's also pretty expensive at that. The grand total of those stolen cacti adding up to about $7,500. And they've done different things. They've put a nightly watch in place. They've also gotten some help from Pima County deputies to try to figure out what is going on. But unfortunately, those thefts are still continuing.
We have taken lots of steps to try to figure out what's going on and to try to deter this. We have community members who are out there at night, and yet they haven't encountered anybody.
Now, the Pima County Sheriff's Department says it has responded to 3 different theft reports over the past 2 weeks. Some of the types that they say are being targeted can actually cost about $300 each. So pretty expensive for the homeowners out there. We do have this full story up on our website if you would like to learn more about this. Now, some good news that we do have today about somebody who was believed to maybe have been taken. Good news is that he's home. This is Sherman. You may remember earlier this week we told you about the Tucson man who said that his 200-pound tortoise was missing. He said that he'd gotten a note from a neighbor actually who said that Sherman was in her backyard. But by the time he got home and saw that note and called the neighbor, she said that 2 other women had already picked Sherman up. Tucson police actually looking into this matter, trying to figure out where he was. However, we are happy to report today Sherman is back home safe. His dad, Tanner, says it's still kind of a mystery how Sherman got out. I mean, they're not very fast animals, and he's pretty big. He says there weren't any holes in the yard, so it doesn't look like Sherman dug his way out of the yard to escape. But regardless, he says he's just happy to have him back home and safe. And a fun little fact about Sherman, actually, he's one of 3 giant tortoises that Tucson Fire rescued from a house fire in February. And you can see that he is very well loved now by his dad, Tanner, and he is back home safe and sound today. So, of course, we're very happy about that. And you may not know this, today is actually World Teachers Day. I'm sure during the pandemic, if you had to teach your kids at home, you probably had an even greater appreciation for teachers. Not an easy job. So we wanted to give a shout out to teachers here at home. And so we asked you to do so on our Facebook page. And we just want to kind of scroll through some of those and see what people are saying, because a lot of people have commented, weighed in, people even saying that their best friend is a teacher and that she's amazing at what she does. And just kind of showing their appreciation for teachers here at home. Somebody even saying my fabulous sister in Connecticut, so even across the country, giving a shout out to all those teachers and what they love about them. Somebody shouting out specifically special needs teachers, which are obviously very needed right now. And we've seen this ongoing teacher shortage and a lot of different concerns from teachers, you know, not getting enough funding, support, and still staying in the career and the business. So a huge shout out to everyone who is a teacher today. If you have a family member who's a teacher or a friend, make sure that you give them a hug and tell them thank you today, because it's not an easy job and they do so much for our kids and our future generations. So weigh in on our Facebook page. Tell us what you love about teachers and which teacher you love, and just make sure to thank them. It's a really easy way to do so. You can see that on our Facebook page again. And if you are a teacher, fun little thing for you today, Dunkin' Donuts actually giving away free cups of coffee to teachers. You can get it iced, you can get it hot. So if you're a teacher, make sure that you head to Dunkin' today, or text somebody who you know to pick up Dunkin' for you, because you absolutely deserve it. And taking a look at our weather today, our 7-day forecast looking pretty consistent, not seeing triple digits, so that is the good news, but warming up as we head into our weekend. None of those numbers start with an 8, so that's bad news. We were blessed with those cooler temperatures earlier this week. That's not the case heading into the weekend, but still staying in the double digits, not seeing triple digits. Overnight temperatures going up a little bit Friday to Saturday, seeing 69 degrees, but everything pretty consistent for the next couple days or so. Should have some breezy conditions starting tomorrow, moving into Saturday. Other than that, nothing too concerning. So pretty consistent weather for your weekend ahead and your week ahead, and also, you know, relatively good weather for October. We've definitely seen worse. So taking a live look outside at what we're seeing right now, those breezy conditions have not moved in, which is good news. Sunshine and lots of it, a couple little clouds in the sky, but nothing that's going to make that much of a difference. So enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Happy World Teachers Day to all the teachers out there. Thank you for joining this 13 Plus FastCast, and we'll see you back here at 2:30.